My name is Kieran Schmidt. I'm living in north of California. I was born in Munich, Germany, and I'm here since about 10 years because I just love the climate in California. I've lived 5 years in India, and I'm trained as a physicist originally in Germany. But then there was a very crucial event in my life where basically I was with my wife in Italy. My wife got very sick, and she actually had to be in intensive care with very high fever, and they simply found out it was a salmonella infection from Naples. But it was very painful to see her through some glass window and not being able to visit her. And so the only way I could spend my time then was looking for books, how I could help her. And actually I found a book on homeopathy. It just came to me by coincidence, and I looked up her symptoms and I came up with a remedy, and I went to the pharmacy and got it. But amazingly, the doctors at the hospital, they would not even let me give her this sugar pill. So I was there with my pill, and I had to wait for her to, after being on infusion and all kind of drugs, after about 2 weeks we said she has to come out, and they said it's impossible, you're very infectious still, but we insisted, and they let her go, and they said, well, you will probably get it from her, and but we said no matter what, we have to go. And so she came out very weak after 2 weeks in intensive care, and we went to Rome from Naples, and in the same night I got very sick with the same symptoms, and so I knew the doctors were right, and I got infected. But I had my remedy there, which I intentionally bought and thought I would give her, and I took this remedy, and the amazing thing was the next day I was going shopping, I was fine, and this was totally amazing to me as a physicist, because as a physicist I only knew in homeopathy there was nothing, there was no substance, and so of course as a physicist I would not have even thought it could do anything. I just had bought it because it was the only thing that was available, and so I used this remedy, which I actually had originally bought for my wife, for myself. So this was this experience for me, which, like many other people, convinced them of the power of homeopathy, and then it changed my life, because I thought this is something I really want to give my attention. At this time I had started a company in Munich which was building light measuring instrument like spectroscopy and polarimeters and ellipsometers, so everything that can measure light. And I had already about 10 people working for me, and it was kind of from many points of view, like my parents and my relatives, they all said, you're stupid leaving this for something like homeopathy, and but I did. I gave my part to my partner, I sold it, and with this money I moved to California, and there I started a practice for homeopathy, and I found out there was no way I could really practice homeopathy in California legally. So I thought, where's the best place to really learn more? And with all the intensity I always was leading my life, I found India, which was the biggest place in the world at the moment which uses homeopathy. And I went there, I moved there in 1990, and I started with a homeopath there to learn homeopathy, and I got the really traditional training, and I treated a lot of people, and I learned to really experience and value a totally different culture. And so 5 years in India, coming back there after 5 years, I really thought I'm ready for California, back to California, and I started my practice here, knowing how to deal with being not objectionable to the to the legal system. And but then I also thought, well, maybe there's some possibilities to extend homeopathy. And one of the things which is the most limiting factor in homeopathy is that it's very hard to find the right remedy. So there's 5,000 remedies, and I knew if you find the right remedy, you're successful. But how to find it? So I tried everything that's out there. I used the biotensor, the pendulum, kinesiology. I used electrodermal screening, or which is also called electroacupuncture according to Woll. I used the latest, which was called quantum medicine, which is devices, computerized devices, which test thousands of things in fractions of a minute or in a few seconds. And I found that they all work. They all work to some degree, but they are not unfailable. And it was clear to me that if we could find something that makes it more easy to find the right remedy, something like homeopathy could treat anything. So I started as usual, my investigation of what are the common facts, the common feature in all of those different ways of finding the right remedy. And actually, after years, I found the most surprising answer, that they are all random event generators, which was very objectionable to all of those people, because the last thing they thought was that they were random event generators. They all had some kind of explanation in terms of physics or consciousness, but to call them random event generators was very objectionable to any one of them.